See, that's the problem you have, and you still have that problem, for instance, in South Africa. Mandela is president, he's got his ministry, and he has the government, but he hasn't gotten hold of the state. Allende had the same problem. He got elected president, but he couldn't get hold of the state. The state are the instruments of the courts, the military, the police, the secret intelligence, the instruments of coercion and control, finally. So you have a hard time there. You have a hard time actually taking state power.
So do you think in the case of South Africa, that's what's forced them to sort of neutralize the whole element of the Freedom Charter, which they rode to power on?
Yeah, I think who, you mean the ANC?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Sort of forced to compromise on it,
they've had to make any number of compromises. It's the same. Yeah, and the hope is, well, maybe we'll be able to get a half a liter of milk to the kids, which is not a small thing, you know, if you're worrying about children starving. And the American left is notorious for not worrying about those kind of things. They want to know, are there elections? Are they acting like Stalinists? Are they being Stalinists? Are they using coercive force, you know? Well, sometimes coercion against imperialism isn't a bad thing at all. I mean, the imperialists invented coercion. They're the purveyors of force and violence. But getting some kind of thing, electrification into the townships, getting some kind of literacy programs going, those kinds of things. So far, he hasn't been able to deliver too much. Mandela might have a somewhat easier time of getting a few reforms in because he has a richer country than Aristide can do in Haiti.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were expecting one element of the Freedom Charter to be carried through, and that was nationalization of the vast amount of wealth that South Africa actually has access to. If that occurred, I think we'd have a very different world, not just a very different South Africa.
Well, that'd be out of the question. I don't know who actually anticipated that. I can't imagine anybody thought that there was going to be nationalization. Not until you take state power. State power means your army takes over. Then you can nationalize the things. And even then you would have a very hard time because you still then would have to face international capital, other markets, and the whole squeeze and crush that would come on you, the invasions, the mercenary forces that would come in and start burning your collective farms and your clinics and killing your people. You know, you'd have to be able to police your whole country and protect it against these kind of forces, which is very hard to do, as evidenced in Mozambique and Angola, where millions of people have been killed by these CIA counter-revolutionary mercenary forces. Yeah. So revolution is a tough, hard thing. Not just taking state power, but being able to hold on to it in the face of this kind of fascist power.